When Oprah laughs at you, the world listens. And when that laugh carries a hidden jab, it's not just funny, it's a message. Meghan Markle just found that out the hard way. A single cheeky moment on Kelly Ripa's podcast turned into a viral storm. And now, people are asking the question no one dared to whisper before. Is Oprah done with Meghan? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now because this isn't just royal gossip. This is a full-blown power shift playing out in real time. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So let's rewind the moment that started it all. It happened during a casual episode of Let's Talk Off Camera, Kelly Ripa podcast. The vibe was light, the tone playful until someone tossed Oprah a bizarre question. Would she ever accept baby chicks as a gift? Odd, right, but Oprah didn't miss a beat. She laughed and said, "I'd run them straight over to the Sussex," twisting the Sussex name into a cringeworthy tongue twister. The crowd laughed. Oprah smiled. Kelly moved on, but the internet didn't. For casual listeners, it passed like harmless humor, but those who followed Meghan's entire branding saga understood exactly what was happening. This wasn't just a joke, it was a roast. A subtle, deliberate jab that hit Meghan exactly where it hurt. Her identity, her brand, her name, and coming from Oprah that made it nuclear dot, because context matters. A lot. Let's not forget Oprah isn't just another celebrity, she was the woman who gave Meghan and Harry their first big post-royal platform. That 2021 sit-down interview didn't just dominate headlines, it reshaped the narrative. Meghan tearfully shared her mental health struggles, hinted at racism within the monarchy, and rebranded herself from a struggling duchess into a misunderstood icon. That moment gave her global sympathy, a new identity, and a Hollywood launchpad. Oprah gave her that, so when that same Oprah Maropa's queenmaker whisked Sussex into a joke, it doesn't read like a slip, it reads like a signal, a warning, a deliberate shift from ally to observer, or worse, to subtle critic. Because Oprah doesn't do accidents, everything she says is measured, everything she laughs at has weight. And when she jokes, the world listens. But here's where it gets even messier. Meghan's not just sensitive about the Sussex name, she's obsessed with it. In fact, she's tried turning Meghan Sussex into her own brand. On her Netflix show, she even corrected Mindy Kaling during a scene's corrected saying, "It's Meghan Sussex now." Don't you know that line triggered a ripple of secondhand embarrassment? You could see Mindy Kaling's face freeze. In that moment, the discomfort was so palpable, people clipped it and shared it online, replaying the awkwardness like it was an episode of The Office. Because, let's be real, Meghan Sussex isn't a real name. It's not legal. It's not even logical. Meghan's birth name is Rachel Meghan Markle. No Sussex on the passport. No Sussex on the bank accounts. Just plain Markle. But still, she pushed the brand, the title, the fantasy. It's ironic, isn't it? The same woman who fought to break away from the royal family, who publicly denounced the monarchy, is now clinging to the very title that institution gave her. Sussex has become her badge of identity, her business anchor. Except, technically, she's not supposed to use it commercially, which makes Oprah's jab even more brutal, because it exposed the contradiction, the absurdity, the performative nature of it all. And Meghan, she felt it. Sources say the comment stung, not just because of what was said, but because of who said it. Oprah's voice carries more than influence, it carries validation or rejection, and lately she hasn't been offering much of the former asterisk behind closed doors. Meghan was reportedly stunned, blindsided. To most of the world, it was just a quirky podcast moment. But to Meghan, it was a public betrayal. And not the first one, either, because this chilly vibe between Oprah and Meghan didn't start with a joke about baby chicks. No, it's been brewing for months. Subtle, quiet, calculated. Let's go back to that book launch event in Montecito. Meghan showed up, polished, and prepped, ready to shine. Cameras flashed, journalists scribbled, the kind of event where every smile is a strategic move. And then Oprah walked in late. No wave, no nod, no public hello. Just a slow stroll to her seat, deliberately avoiding Meghan's eyes. Eyewitnesses say the tension was thick. Meghan looked rattled. She had expected a moment to hug, a photo, some public show of unity. Instead, she got cold shoulders and silence. And silence in Hollywood is never just silence. It's a message, a boundary, a quiet no. And that's when things got weird, because shortly after, headlines started circulating about a bizarre little story. Meghan reportedly showed up at Oprah's house with ducklings. Yes, actual baby ducks. The official story painted it like a charming animal rescue situation. Meghan, ever the compassionate soul, had found these ducklings in distress and brought them to Oprah's estate for safe relocation. But the internet wasn't buying it. People immediately clocked it for what it probably was, a PR stunt. an attempt to reignite the warmth, to create a media moment that screamed, "We're still close," except it didn't land. Oprah didn't post a photo, didn't make a statement, didn't even acknowledge it. No smiling Instagram story, no tag, nothing. And that silence, louder than any rejection. Because let's be honest, if Oprah wanted to show support, she would have a single sentence, a single repost, a single emoji would have sent the message, "We're good." But she didn't. And that silence cut deeper than any shade. Meghan may have brought ducklings, but Oprah wasn't interested in feeding anything not ducks. Not egos, not a narrative. This is the part most people miss. Oprah's not petty, she's precise. She doesn't cancel, she distances quietly, elegantly. And when she does it, others notice. Because Oprah isn't just a friend, she's a barometer. If Oprah's done with you, the rest of Hollywood takes the hint. And that's the real danger Meghan's facing now. It's not the joke, it's what the joke means. It's the signal. Because when Oprah subtly mocks your chosen identity on a public platform, and then follows it up with nothing, no tag, no love, no defense, that's not a joke, that's an announcement, and everyone heard it. Asterisk, what people need to understand is this: Oprah doesn't move without strategy. Every word, every laugh, every silence, it's all calculated. Her brand is built on wisdom, legacy, and power. She doesn't chase drama, she curates alignment, and right now, aligning with Meghan Markle, that's not exactly a winning move. Because the Hollywood elite lives by one golden rule: protect the brand. And Meghan, for all her ambition, has become unpredictable. Too many headlines, too many controversies, too much noise. That once powerful, underdog narrative has worn thin. The story hasn't changed in years. She's still fighting the press, still exposing the royals, still branding herself as the misunderstood duchess who just wants peace, privacy, and empowerment all, while signing multi-million-dollar deals and filming Netflix documentaries. It's not that people are attacking her, they're just tired. The narrative's stale, the sympathy is fading. And worse, the connections are pulling back slowly, quietly, just like Oprah. And here's where things turn brutal. Meghan built her post-royal identity around relationships, big names, powerful allies, and none were bigger than Oprah. That interview in 2021 was her rebirth, her Hollywood crowning moment. And now, that same Oprah is ghosting her publicly with a laugh. And Meghan, she knows exactly what that means. Sources say her team is scrambling. The PR machine has gone into overdrive trying to figure out how to reverse the damage internally. They're panicking. Because losing Oprah doesn't just hurt Meghan's image, triggers a domino effect. Think about it. Oprah gave Meghan credibility, legitimacy. She made the world stop and listen. And if Oprah is now laughing, pulling back, stepping away, it tells the industry one thing: this association is no longer safe. That's how Hollywood works. Quiet, rejection, soft blocks, subtle cancellations. First comes the tone shift, jokes instead of praise, then the silence, then the absence. Invitations stop arriving, deals slow down, brands distance themselves, and eventually the public follows suit. That's what Meghan's facing now, not backlash. And in a town like Los Angeles, indifference is the kiss of death. It's happening already. Collaborations are thinning out. Meghan and Harry were once the golden couple of Hollywood's woke elite. Now they're rarely seen. Netflix backed out of projects. Spotify dropped their deal. Invites are less frequent. Influencers no longer chase the photo op. And the phrase, "too much drama," keeps coming up in executive circles. Hollywood doesn't need villains. It needs consistency, marketability, freshness. Meghan was once the icon of reinvention. But now she feels predictable, overmanaged, overexposed, and over it. And that's a problem no ducklings can fix. The Meghan Markle brand used to be about disruption. A duchess who defied tradition, who walked away from a palace, who built something new out of ashes. But now, it's struggling to evolve, and Hollywood has noticed. There was a time when Meghan's every move made headlines: her speeches, her podcast, her outfits, her partnerships. But lately, her efforts have started to feel recycled, redundant, like she's clinging to a narrative that no longer moves people. Take the gift baskets. It might seem like a small thing, but in Hollywood, gifts are more than just thoughtful gestures. They're strategic PR. And Meghan's baskets, oh, they're legendary. Impeccably styled, filled with organic teas, handcrafted soaps, artisanal honey, monogrammed towels, wrapped to perfection with hand-inked calligraphy and sustainable packaging. Beautiful, no doubt, but also incredibly performative. They've become a running joke in influencer circles. Over the top, try hard, hollow. Like every item screams, "Please post me." And the one she sent to Oprah, it may as well have been engraved with a plea. Please show the world we're still close. But Oprah didn't bite. No Instagram post, no story tag, no casual thank you tweet. She didn't acknowledge it at all. And that silence, that was the soft block. That was the rejection dot, because if Oprah wanted to let the world know they were still friends, all she had to do was hold up a jar of tea and smile. That would have shut down the rumors in one frame. But she didn't. She left the basket hand. The message behind it, in the dark, and Meghan. She's not clueless. She's been in this game long enough to know exactly what that means. No response from Oprah isn't just a snub. It's a signal, a warning shot to the rest of the industry. This ship is sinking and I'm not going down with it. Meghan's worst nightmare isn't being mocked, it's being ignored, and right now, that's exactly what's happening. Oprah's joke wasn't cruel, it was strategic. A gentle push off the stage, a way of saying, "You've become too much. I'm moving on." And the industry? It's following suit, because while Meghan still tries to anchor herself to Sussex, the truth is that title has become her crutch, a name she can't legally monetize, attached to an institution she spent years attacking. It's like trying to build a brand on ashes while pretending the fire never happened. That contradiction is glaring. That logic gap is impossible to ignore. And now, even her allies are done pretending it makes sense. Asterisk, what makes this even more tragic from a PR standpoint is that Meghan had every opportunity to reinvent herself, to evolve the narrative, but every time she tried, something missed the mark. Take the Spotify deal, a multi-million-dollar contract that should have catapulted her into podcast royalty. Instead, it fizzled. Critics said the content lacked depth, that it felt overscripted and underwhelming. Audiences didn't connect. Even Spotify executives quietly distanced themselves, pulling the plug after one season and citing creative differences that sounded more like an excuse to cut ties politely than there was the Netflix series. Shot beautifully, framed to perfection. But again, it didn't resonate. Audiences complained it was too curated, too sanitized, too brand over soul. Meghan and Harry came off less like human beings with a story and more like a marketing team with a camera crew. Even the lifestyle brand launches products, initiatives, philanthropic angles. None of them stuck. None of them had staying power. Because beneath all the aesthetics and perfectly lit photo ops, the same question kept resurfacing. What is she really offering? And that question is a dangerous one in Hollywood. Because when people start to ask it, the clock starts ticking. You don't just need to be visible, you need to be vital, fresh, unpredictable. And right now, Meghan's storyline has stalled. She's still playing the same hand-misunderstood Duchess versus the cruel establishment. But audiences, they've moved on. They want new characters, new stories. Meghan's refusal to let go of the old narrative is making her look stuck, desperate. And in that context, Oprah's joke lands even harder, because it wasn't just a laugh, it was a cue. A carefully timed beat that said, "We're over it. You should be too." Oprah didn't drag her, she dismissed her. And that, in Hollywood, is far worse. Because this industry doesn't destroy people loudly, it forgets them. Quietly, efficiently. Meghan's problem isn't a scandal, it's irrelevance. She's still trying to fight battles that people have stopped watching, and that's the scariest part. Meghan isn't being silenced by tabloids or royal spokespeople, she's being sidelined by disinterest. Her brand is no longer controversial, it's just exhausting. And exhaustion is deadly in entertainment. Oprah saw it, and instead of staging an intervention, she slipped out the back door. With a smirk, with a laugh, and now, the world is following her lead. Asterisk, Meghan Markle wanted to rewrite the rules, to walk away from the palace, from centuries of protocol, and redefine what power looked like. And for a moment, she did. The world watched. The royals scrambled. Hollywood opened its arms. But power, especially in Hollywood, isn't static. It's a current. It flows toward whoever holds attention and keeps it. Meghan was once at the center of that current. Now, she's being gently pushed to the sidelines, and that push, it didn't come from the press. It didn't come from the monarchy. It came from Oprah. With a laugh, because when the woman who made your story global starts joking about your name, it's not a coincidence. It's not harmless, it's a temperature check. And right now, Meghan's heat is cooling fast. She's no longer the woman who shook the monarchy. She's becoming the woman people roll their eyes at on podcasts. And that's the quiet tragedy. A femit never ends with a bang. It ends with a chuckle, a shrug, a fade to black dot. And here's the real irony. Meghan built her escape plan on the idea that she didn't need the royal family, that she could stand alone. But in trying to distance herself, she clung even tighter to the one thing she said she didn't want. The title, the branding, the royalty. Meghan Sussex, she called herself, like it was a designer label. But now, even that label is peeling. The world is catching on. The contradictions are too loud. The strategy too transparent. And without Oprah backing the illusion, the curtain is slipping because Oprah isn't loyal to people. She's loyal to legacy. She doesn't keep toxic ties. She lets them go with grace, a wink, and a perfectly timed joke. And that's what we saw on Kelly Ripa's podcast. Not shade, not cruelty. Just a soft exit from a sinking narrative. And Meghan, she didn't even see it coming. That's the most devastating part. She thought the alliance was real. That Oprah was in her corner for good. But in truth, Oprah was just doing business. And when the brand lost its shine, she closed the tab. No fanfare, no press release. Just silence and a joke that echoed louder than any headline. So now, Meghan stands in the center of a crumbling empire, clutching a title she can't legally monetize. Surrounded by gift baskets, no one posts allies who don't reply, and an audience slowly walking away. It's not the fall that hurts, it's the silence after. And Oprah, she's already moved on, laughing, smiling, building something new, while Meghan's still clinging to the past. If you found this breakdown as wild and revealing as we did, make sure to subscribe right now, because this Hollywood story isn't over, it's evolving, and next time the silence might not be so quiet.